I am everywhere. I don't anywhere belong. I perceive every soul's breathing the same melody. I see a universal magic in each beam, a tender jubilation for all of us as a trial. I am the gaiety in a world amused. I am the soul in each home abused. I am the blossom growing out of rocks. I am the homeless in a cardboard box. I am the cold, the hungry, the depressed. I am the rich, the fortunate, the blessed. Beyond the wars, the loath, and the insanity, I am the vanity connected to humanity. I am the power inherent in each, the resilient humanity.
Assalamu alaikum, marhaba, hello and namaste.
Bonjour, hola and konnichiwa to all our audience joining us today from all over the world.
I'm Sharmishta
And I'm Divya.
and we warmly welcome you all to the 11th edition of the Poetic Heart Connecting Humanity 2022. This year's theme is resilience, which echoes the essence of humanity.
Resilience is an amazing word. For me, it means to never give up.
And for me, resilience is the resounding courage to continue no matter what.
Indeed, a theme ingrained in the human spirit displayed by each individual in these challenging times as we keep striving forward no matter what. And of course, our UAE leads by example.
Organized by SGI-Gulf in association with Emirates NBD and Amity University Dubai, last year the Poetic Heart stood witness to the resilience displayed by our seasoned poets and musicians from around the world and budding poets from the educational institutes across UAE in our first ever digital edition, which was a resounding success.
From just 2 schools in 2013 to over 40 schools this year, and with the inclusion of the ever-inspiring Determined Ones in 2016, it has been quite a journey for the Poetic Heart. Let's witness this amazing journey together.
توده خاکستری كم عزت من بالأنثى لم يزل يصدح فيها رسولها.
I am very happy to welcome the whole nationality, music, a lot of people, and it makes, bridges between people. Not in Asia, I think around the world.
Poetry is another means of telling a story from different perspective, and it develops the sense of empathy among the youth, and to look into the world from different perspective, as well as to have a deeper appreciation and understanding of the world as a whole.
This area celebrates poetry, literature, and peace as well. The leader of this city is a poet, and his son, Prince Hamdan, is also a poet, which shows how integrated poetry is into our fabric.
So I like to write a poem which can change a person, and he can, rehabilitate himself into a better person.
I think poetry is one of the biggest tools you can use.
It's a very nice event that gives the opportunity for kids to recite their poems that they wrote.
Forgetting that each time we breathe, we influence. That every one of us was made to live in congruence like the oceans and the land, preaching to unite for survival.
The kids came, the youngest students came, they gave their poetry, expressed themselves, and the encouragement they received, that's a booster.
beautifully.
दुनिया बिजली की तमाशा है।
What a fantastic journey this has been. This event has been inspired by the efforts of many. We would now like to invite Mr. Suresh Premkumar, SGI-Gulf chairperson, to share his thoughts about this inspiring digital festival of poetry and music.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys. It is a time, the year again, when we welcome you, the Poetic Heart, Connecting Humanity. On behalf of SGI-Gulf, it is my honor and privilege to welcome you to the unique Poetry Symposium in its 11th edition this year. As world enters another challenging year, we must remember that this is a resilient human spirit that has helped us to bounce back and kept us moving forward. That's why this year's Poetry Symposium is centered on the theme resilience. President Ikeda says, every hardship is an opportunity to strengthen ourselves, to temper our life and make it shine with a greater brilliance. The poems recited over the years of the Poetic Heart have created a deep impact in our hearts, transcending all barriers and truly connecting us. Poems and songs penned as an unstoppable outpouring of the art take on the life of their own. The poetic spirit can be found in any human endeavor. When the spirit of poetry lives within us, even the objects do not appear as mere things. Our eyes are trained on an inner spiritual reality. The poetic initiative believes that treasuring and nurturing the young poets, enabling them to grow, also lead the adults into realms of the fresh discovery. The poetic spirit has a power to retune, reconnect a discordant world. A true poet stands firm, confronting the life conflicts and complexities. The journey of Poetic Heart is progressing under the guidance of Dr. Shiab Ghanam, with the encouragement of Dr. Daisaku Ikeda, and with the support of our sponsors and volunteers. We have stayed committed to our mission of contribution to the harmonious, peaceful society through the medium of poetry and music. Today, we have a spectacular lineup of musical performances and poetry recitation by the young, renowned poets that is sure to be inspirational and entertaining. On behalf of SGI volunteers, I'll welcome you all once again to the 11th edition of the Poetic Heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mr. Suresh, for shedding the light upon the journey of Poetic Heart and setting the tone for minds, young and experienced, to share their poetic creations today. Where words leave off, music begins.
And how true! The human spirit fights on with the poet's resilience and a musician's armor. Let's welcome Naseem, SGI-Gulf's chorus, which is performed over many years, cutting across the barriers of language. Lending their melodious voices, they have sung songs on the themes of mother, peace, friendship, hope, happiness, and invincible humanity. They have touched chords and left us speechless. Here's a brief highlight of Naseem's journey.
The Poetic Heart welcomes SGI chorus Naseem. An initiative by SGI to contribute to the Poetic Heart event was born in 2014. Consisting of a group of volunteers who have trained themselves to sing in Japanese, English and Arabic. Every year, Naseem mesmerizes us with compositions that are melodious, captivating and beyond imagination. The Poetic Heart is proud to welcome its very own chorus, Naseem.
The song Morigasaki Beach has its lyrics written as the poem by Dr. Daisaku Ikeda in 1947. Its lyrics are imbued with poetic content depicting the scenic exchange he had with a close friend at the beach of Morigasaki. Transcending all boundaries of race, color, and religion, this song celebrates friendship. Revisiting those memories and building new melodies, we now have Naseem performing the Japanese song Morigasaki to celebrate the bonds of friendship.
To
What a mesmerizing performance that was. Thank you, Naseem. What would Poetic Heart be without our poets, performers, and most importantly, our sponsors? Our heartfelt gratitude to our sponsors for their unrelenting support year after year. Your generous support has been pivotal to our success.
A big thank you to all our sponsors for supporting us over the last 11 years. Emirates NBD, Amity University Dubai, EIBFS, Nadwat, Dubai Knowledge Park, Melody Makers, Tiffany, PepsiCo, Nestle, Almarai, Masafi, Barakat, Aktia Group and Dubai International Academic City. Social Mishta, what do you feel about poetry? I'm already very excited and really looking forward to this grand spectacle of music and poetry.
You know, Divya, in our darkest moments, reading or hearing an encouraging word or two can mean a lot. And in these challenging times, what better way to move forward than hearing inspiring lines from poetic minds?
Absolutely. Poetic Heart has had the privilege of having one of the most distinguished poets from UAE. We have with us Mr. Wael Al-Saeq, an Emirati poet, athlete and a business owner. While his occupation focuses on fitness and martial arts, his heart lies in poetry, literature, art and music. He owns Al-Areen Martial Arts Training LLC in Dubai, which was founded by the support of Sheikh Khalifa Fund for Enterprise Development and Mohammed bin Rashid Establishment for Young Business Leaders. He is a graduate of one of the oldest universities in Europe, the University of Glasgow, Scotland. Mr. Wael writes his poetry primarily in English.
Now, let's ponder over the essence of what we should ask ourselves, what the animal world can teach us, and finally, how do we cultivate the spirit of resilience? Intrigued? Well, let's listen in to discover to the poetry of Mr. Wael Al-Saig.
A yogi Sufi saint looked at me from a distance, too far for his words to be heard by my ears. His presence captured with great love and kindness my full attention. I could hear his words emanating from his heart to mine. He asked, "Till when will you continue to suffer? Till when will the twistings and turnings of your conditioned, patterned, commanding, and blaming self suffocate you? Till when will you deny the stillness that is your witness's inheritance? Till when?" My second poem is called Dogs and Wolves. Life is made up of a question. A single, simple question. A question that is found in the difference between dogs and wolves. Dogs are domesticated creatures, tamed, trained, and dependent on others to feed, clean, and shelter them. They start off as adorable little pups and never change. Wolves, on the other hand, are wild creatures. They are free, raw, and independent. They, like dogs, also start off as adorable little pups. But then, under a divine full moon, they change. In this fact is a great secret for those awake enough to see. Humans start off as children, and then they either change or they do not. One becomes a grown-up child, and the other a human adult. So, the question, the simple, single question of life is, which one are you? My third poem is called Sumud, which is Arabic for resilience. And now, the teaching of Sumud. Sumud is not a character trait. It's not something you have or don't. Sumud is something you cultivate. Cultivation requires conscious work, and here are a few things to be conscious of in your own process of sumud. Don't say, "I'm stressed, I'm sad, I'm mad," or "I'm upset." Instead, witness the stress. Observe the sadness. Watch the madness and look upon the upset as you would a passing traveler. Be in your breath. When all else fails, remember, be in your breath. Practice gratitude for everything. All is from Allah, the good and the bad. Otherwise, you will be ungrateful for the sands that help you create your pearls. Sit or walk in meditation. You don't need to be a Buddha to do so, but you do need the Buddha to show you how. Connect with your community. And if you don't have one, create your own. You are, after all, the creating organ of the universe. And last but not least, do physical exercise. I don't care what it's called or how it's done. Just move your body with the intention of feeling good after. Walk around the chair 99 times for all I care. Just move. That is all.
Wasn't that soul-stirring? Thank you, Mr. Weil, for your gracious presence at the Poetic Heart. Poetry is best curated through the young minds, and Poetic Heart continues to be the platform to encourage budding poets over the years. Our next segment is dedicated to and authored by our young student poets. Let's start this youthful poetic journey with Paridhi Bhatia, a student from GEMS Modern Academy, who will be sharing her thoughts through an Arabic poem, which talks about a girl's resilience serving as a source of inspiration.
Hello everyone, my name is Paridhi Bhatia and today my poem is in Arabic, titled Al-Malaku Zahabi. عاشروا سنوات فقط لكنها أقصر حكمة من هم في عمرها تشعوا إيجابية للحياة وعزيمة لا تقبل الاستسلام كانت ملاكا صحابيا بجناحين من صمود رأيتها عندما كنت أسير في التاريخ كانت تتعلم كيفية قيادة الدراجة تسقط كل 3 أمتار على الأرض لكن برغم كل جرح وكل غش تتمكن من النهوض كانت أراقبها باهتمام أهتك فيها حتى لا تستسلم أبدا بغض النظر عن عدد المرات التي وقعت فيها كانت تعلم أن السبيل الوحيد للعودة هو الصمود استغرقا الأمر منها 12 محاولات و15 كل مرة جعلتنا أكثر سرارة من ذي قبل في صمودها وعدم الاستسلام أبدا علمتني أكثر بكثير ما كنت أتخيل الآن في كل مرة أواجه مهمة صعبة في كل مرة أعتقد أنني على وشك الفشل تذكروني تلك الفتاة سنة على أستسلم صمودها الذهبي وإصرارها ساعدني على مواصلة الطريق شكرا.
Thank you, Paridhi. You have beautifully shared your determination to never give up and the perseverance to overcome any setback through this poem. It's now time to welcome Zaira Khan, a 9th grader from Greenwood International School who is a logophile and a penchant for books. She is currently reviewing her own novel, which will be published soon. Her biggest inspiration, though, is her own mother, Sazina Khan, who is an award-winning poet herself and has had many international awards in her kitty. Over to you, Zaira.
My name is Zaira Khan, and I study in Greenwood International School. Today, I'll be reciting my poem titled Ode to Resilience. Here you are, in spite of facing it all, in spite of depression's silent call, through the darkest of nights, shone over the brightest of all lights. Feel accomplished of your resistance, your resolution, your final resolve. Be proud of how far you've come, of what you've been through, and how you handled it all. Be proud of how you're still standing, even after being knocked down. The hardships made you open your eyes to see the true colors of the world and see your actual worth for what you actually are. Although you've been broken, beaten, and bashed, you'll still piece yourself back together because that's what resilience is. Now you can finally share your magic, helping others overcome their burdens, all because you aided yourself. There, in the gloomiest of times, struggling to discover the truth, picking through the wreckage of your life, swirling in the grip of a cycle, a storm, taking command of the inner force, slowly doubts die and new you rise. Resilience in you shines like a sliver of sunshine, peeking through the blinds as the sun slowly makes its way back into the sky. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaira. An inspiring ode to resilience. Next, we have Justina Jibin, a grade 8 student of GEMS Our Own English High School, Dubai. She has already published 2 books and has many accolades to her credit, including the youngest author at the Sharjah International Book Fair in 2017-18. Let's experience her amazing poetry, Like a Phoenix in Fire.
My name is Justina Jibin, and I will be reciting my poem, Like a Phoenix in Fire. I am a survivor. Till the last day I shall fight. You may push me into the darkness, but I will be my own light. When you set fire to my soul, I shall rise from the ashes, and all your bitter, twisted lies will never stop me from touching the bright blue sky. I was once a glass mirror. The ones that broke me, beware. Not because the broken glass shards shall hurt them, but because these shards shall turn into flowers and lay out a carpet for them. The days that I thought were the hardest only made me tougher. The challenges I looked in the eye. I did not run away, nor did I sigh. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, a wise one once said. And as long as I persevere, I will come back and leave nothing unsaid. I shall rise again, my wings shall spread out, and I will fly even higher, like a phoenix in fire.
When you set fire to my soul, I shall rise from the ashes. Thank you, Justina. That was powerful. Over to our next young poet, Srinika Gandasarakula, a student from GEMS New Millennium School, Al Khil, Dubai. Finds peace in drafting poetry. It allows her to escape the real world for a while and get trapped in her bubble of wild imagination. This year, she will be presenting Unwithered Resilience for the Poetic Heart.
My name is Srinika and I'll be presenting my poem Unwithered Resilience. The white crystal slowly brought a deceived vision of an angelic chain. Every branch shook with frost, icy wind slicing deep vein. All signs of green blurred and lost, rusty brown all about. The crumbling barks, barriers and dust, a vein of the nighting sprout. The roots stayed buried, deep, undisturbed. Gentle drops of blue swilled through veins unheard. The sweet chirps of wings fluttering, the noisy rushes of spring coming by. Each little hole of complete void made a tree to try. Fallen pink petals blossomed, pretty, sweet, divine. Every notch, branch and vine stood up tall, very fine. The moon sets the sunrise, cycle repeating every time. My branches of wisdom, denser as seconds pass by. You can unearth my love or dig my greatest fears, but like a free-led dove, I shall float in those conquered tears. Thank you.
Thank you, Srinika. That was a beautiful expression of resilience drawn from nature. Now let's invite the Poet Sisters from Al Mawakib School, Al Barsha, Dubai. They would be reciting in Arabic. First to recite will be Lara Zaid Qasim, an 11th grader from Al Mawakib School at Barsha. She's a poet and a canonist. She strongly believes that no matter how many obstacles stand in our way, the ability to fight the impossible is resilience. Over to Lara with her inspiring poem titled Stand Steadfast.
My name is Lara Zaid Qasim. My poem's title is قف صامدا. قف أنت في وجه الصعاب بكل حزم ودع السيول تسير نحو خلاصها نحو العدم. في كل أرض كن وازرع قدم. قف صامدا وبكل عزم. قلب هنا الأيام واسع من قبل الندم. هذا الذي قد يهدر الوقت ويسبقه العدم. في كل فوز سر ليتبعك الهرم. كن صامدا حلوا ولا تنسى النغم. شمس الصباح هنا تراك تريد أن تهب الحياة وتنتصر لا تنهزم. اليأس يجرح لا يداوي وهو صلب كالصنم. النور آت من مساحات الظلام. آت يخبئ أجمل الأحلام. آت يخبئ أجمل الأحلام.
Thank you, Lara. It is so essential in life to be steadfast. Next, we have Sara Zaid Qasim, who will take over the inspirational mantle and share her poem in Arabic titled So I Don't Break. An 8th grader from Al Mawakib School, she is a guitarist and a singer. Her poem highlights the importance of resilience and how you should never let anything break you.
My name is Sara Zaid Qasim. The title of my poem is كي لا أنكسر. سأحطم الهزيمة كي لا أنكسر وسأهزم اليأس كي لا ينتصر. سأنهض من جديد وأشكر الدهر الذي أدبني والصبر الذي رباني واليأس الذي أغناني. رافقني مع الأيام صبر أخذ بيدي وواساني وصاحبني من الأحلام حلم. فخطوت خطواتي الأولى ثابتا متألقا ومهما تعثرت أقدامي سأنهض من جديد لأحقق أحلامي. سأنهض من جديد لأحقق أحلامي. شكرا.
The sibling poets are indeed a great inspiration to poetry. Thank you, Lara and Sara. Let's now welcome the next poet of this segment, Winona Santos Kuyagan from the Sheffield Private School, Dubai. She believes that pain and suffering is a great opportunity to learn and grow. Winona has penned down the internal journey of growth one makes when going through a heartbreaking experience in life. Her piece is titled Resilience, Trust Yourself.
My name is Winona, and I will be reciting my poem, Trust Yourself. Hello? Is anyone there? Go away. I just want to disappear. I'm lonely. Can someone talk to me? I can't trust you. Leave me be. It's silent, but why is it so noisy? It's dark, but I see all the pain and possibilities. It's spacious, but it feels so cramped and tiny. What do I really want? Why can't I trust anybody? I'm clueless. There's so much pain and sorrow. I try to trust, but it ends up being hollow. What's the purpose in living if everyone disappoints you? What's the purpose of trying when your efforts serve no value? There's no one. In this abyss of isolation, I distance myself without any hesitation. But I try. I try over and over again, just for someone to hear my cries in this sorrowful rain. I can do it. I can be whole, not broken. Keep fighting. Do not give in. You have a purpose, a meaning in this life. The solution is to live, not the afterlife. You can trust your family. You can trust your friends. You can live happily until your life ends. All you need to do is trust yourself.
Thank you, Winona, for this beautiful poem. Our next poet, Mahika Banerjee, a Year 13 student from the Westminster School, Dubai, has a similar spirit. Her participation in the Poetic Heart 2022 was her way to bring together a piece that can truly capture the essence of the eternal struggle that people face on a daily basis. It also brings awareness to mental health, which is a pivotal topic surrounding her poetry. Let's welcome Mahika.
My name is Mahika Banerjee, and today I'll be reciting my poem, The Silent Fire Within Us. The darkness beams with eminence, exclaiming its power over our life. Roses deprived of their sweetest scent, every petal ripping apart like a broken heart, an ombre of the darkest colors known to man. Shades of hopelessness and sorrow latches onto us like a disease. When your world starts to crumble, leaving you feeling like it's beyond repair, when the storm brewing within you is triumphant in shattering you piece by piece, your mind becomes the most vicious place to wander. When all hope seems lost in the ether, the presence of faith seems inconceivable. Then awakens the undying power that lives deep within us, the fire that exists to ignite our soul. It navigates its way through the perplexing maze of melancholy feelings, and it holds on to us like humans holding on for dear life, permeating the possibility of victory amidst the conundrum known as despair. We rise from our shattered pieces like a phoenix, with an armor of faith and the visage of warrior, prepared to conquer the uphill battle that the paradox known as life tosses onto our shoulders. Thank you.
Thank you, Mahika. Your poem truly reflected your inspiration of observing the world around you. People are stronger than they believe to be. We now welcome Christina Matthews Kalatil, a grade 9 student of GEMS Our Own English High School, Warkad, Dubai. She believes that writing isn't words scribbled on paper, but a living piece of a soul ignited with the fire of passion and imagination. Today, through her poem, she paints for us the colors of resilience.
My name is Christina Matthews Kaltal, studying in our own English high school, Dubai, and I'm here to recite my poem, Colors of Resilience. When you feel like all is lost and the shades of life turn grey, remember all the colors in your life that brought you all the way. Treasure the hues of happiness and nurture the shades of blues. Use these colors to paint your journey and let the pigments diffuse. Reds are for the times you were passionate about your cause. Those feelings gave you a glimpse of how worthy it really was. Remember, one ray is enough to light up the woebegone skies, and one step is all it takes to mark the beginning of rewarding tries. Greens are for the times you regretted taking the redundant risk. Those feelings let you sense how to handle the unexpected twists. Our errors lead us to wiser decisions and a greater upswing. Trees shed their leaves in winter, but grow greener ones in spring. Blues are for the times you were on the brink of giving up in dismay. Those feelings let you know that not everything may go your way. Your shortcomings are your greatest obstacles. There are no reruns. You'll have to fight through some bad days to earn the best ones. Yellows are for the times your elation soared above the assured. Those feelings gave you hope for everything you've endured. Happiness isn't a destination to reach for, it's a direction to go with. The struggles of the past have led us here. Our success is no more a myth. These stories cannot be seen, nor heard, nor told, but felt. The colors of resilience is where these memories and narratives dwelt. Different hues to give fortitude, the willpower to continue. Every goal is achievable, and every discovery is a chance at something new. Use these shades to give you confidence, these colors of resilience. And when you feel like life is pushing too hard, recollect the experience. Retell your tales of marvels and speak not through the mouth but heart. You were strong in the beginning, resilient from the start. Thank you.
Assigning a feature to each color to resilience was like hearing you paint. Very inspiring, Christina. Let's now welcome a young poet who believes that resilience is what makes a person bloom like a flower, even when the conditions are hard and dry like concrete road. Maria Atif from Cambridge International Private School, Sharjah. Let's experience her beautiful poetry.
Hello everyone, my name is Maria and I am from GEMS Cambridge International School, Sharjah, and I'm here to recite my poem, The Rose That Grew from Concrete. I'll never understand society. Do they want to see her broken? Weakened by the hatred that seep within their words, words sharper than knives that pierce through her one by one. As she walks this earth with shoulders falling forwards and tears filling up in her eyes, she goes through crowds, unspoken, unheard, and unwanted. There is nothing pretty about the damage, pain, and heartache they've brought to her, but she isn't the wreckage they believe her to be. She's the rose that grew from concrete. With her own strength, resilience, and fortitude, she will rise to stand on her own 2 feet, to be the most beautiful rose you ever did see. Pushing against all the odds stacked up against her, she learned to rise up, realizing her potential. And this stunning display of courage is what I wish society would encourage.
But she isn't the wreckage they believe her to be. She's the rose that grew from concrete. Well said, Maria. Moving on, we have a grade 10 student from Crescent English High School, Dubai, Samlin Parisa Rubin. She draws upon the emotion of never giving up. Her poem, Defeat Over the Rife, conveys the uplifting message of the storm passed, the battle died, for it was tamed with solidarity.
My name is Samlin, and the title of my poem is The Aroused Seed. As her walls unfurled, her orbs uncurled, her world unlit, and slashed her grit, up and down her eyes roam, longing to be a bloom. Above her she espied a chink, so did she overhear a spink. As she plattered the surface, attempting to rise from the rummage, upreared her head above the soil with no dread. As her petals sway, her aroma dwell over the bray. Unlike a recreant, she stood resilient. She stood resilient.
Thank you, Samleen. This storm too shall pass. Wow, it's inspiration in each word. But there is more to come. Next, let's invite Rebecca Sarah Jinu. Studying at Al Diafa High School, Dubai, in grade 8, she is an avid reader of biographies and loves the art of photography. She has penned down words for Poetic Heart, giving voice to her spirit of not giving into self-defeat. Let us cheer for our young poet, Rebecca.
Hello everybody, my name is Rebecca Sarah Jinu, studying in Al Diafa High School, Dubai. Today I'm going to recite my poem, A Yard Away is a Walk Away. Have the ability to fire again. Be resilient, as difficulty and pain comes in every action you take. Trouble and heartbreaks come in every way. They're just a yard away. A yard away is a walk away. Don't hold too long or the yard will be a feet away. Just snap away, or the shot you take will fly at you again. Resilience is a walk away. Remember that the best comes in uphill battles day. Be resilient as a thunderstorm that comes every day. Don't be pushed, but love all the same way. Know that we matter, our work matters. Have hopes, wishes and dreams. Hold them high in the sky. They will let you fly beyond beams of wonder. Thank you.
Don't hold too long, or the yard will be a feet away. Thank you, Rebecca. What a subtle way to express the need to not wait but work through the obstacles with resilience. Wow, that was an inspiring, captivating segment of poetry by our young poets. I'm sure the audience watching us live are equally inspired.
Please share your appreciation for the young poets in the chats and the likes in the broadcast and on our social media channel on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter. We would love to hear from you.
Before we proceed further, let's take a moment to convey our heartfelt gratitude to our partner Emirates NBD for their immense support over the years.
Our event partner Emirates NBD is committed to people with disabilities and support the hashtag #MyCommunity initiative launched by His Highness Sheikh Hamdan bin Mohammed Al Maktoum, Crown Prince of Dubai and Chairman of Dubai Executive Council, that aims to transform Dubai to a disability-friendly city, and we are proud to have their support.
The bank has made various efforts in recent years as part of the advocacy program #TogetherLimitless to foster sustainable long-term improvement and integration of people with disabilities into the community. Emirates NBD is dedicated to supporting a world in which people with disabilities have equal access to the same ambitions and opportunities as everyone else. With immense gratitude in our hearts, we would like to introduce Emirates NBD through a video which highlights their passion for helping society and giving hope.
As someone once said, sometimes real superheroes live in the hearts of small children fighting big battles. So here's our next segment with our superheroes reciting poetry and showcasing their musical talent. Let's welcome our next poet, Mancha Advani, a lovely 18-year-old teen with cerebral palsy from SNF Development Center, whose smile brightens up the day for her friends and staff alike. She loves to dance, sing, paint, and cherishes all her moments with her peers at SNF. Over to you, Mancha.
I am Mancha Advani from SNF Development Center. I am here to recite a poem on resilience and hope. If you can keep your head when all about you are losing theirs and blaming it on you. If you can trust yourself when all men doubt you, but make allowance for their doubting too. If you can wait and not be tired by waiting, or being lied about, don't deal in lies, or being hated, don't give way to hating, and yet don't look too good and not talk too twice. If you can dream and not make dreams your master, if you can think and not make thoughts your aim, and treat those two impostors just the same. If you can bear to hear the truth you have spoken, twisted by nails to make a trap for fools, or watch the things you have gave your life to broken and stoop and build them up with worn out tools.
Fantastic, Mancha. We wish that you continue to captivate one and all with your poems. Let's share our appreciation online for our special warrior. Let's now welcome Varun Raina. He's a talented singer, actor, dancer, and filmmaker. He has released 4 music albums and acted in 3 short films. A student of both Hindustan and Western classic music, he has been taking laughter sessions in Tender Hearts Arena, Ambassador School, etc. We look forward to seeing him in a lead role for his short film, Chords of Love, this year in Oscar Theatre, Sharjah.
Hello, I'm Varun and I am from Tender Hearts Arena. किताबें झांकती हैं बंद अलमारी की शीशों से, बड़ी हसरत से तकती हैं। किताबें झांकती हैं बंद अलमारी की शीशों से, बड़ी हसरत से तकती हैं, महीनों मुलाकातें नहीं होती। जो शामें कुछ को कटा देती अब अक्सर गुजर जाती है कंप्यूटर के पतों पर। जो शामें सोवक कटाती थी अब अक्सर गुजर जाती हैं कंप्यूटर के पर्दों पर। बड़ी बेचैन रहती हैं किताबें, उन्हें अब नींद में चलने की आदत हो गई है। बड़ी बेचैन रहती हैं किताबें, उन्हें अब नींद में चलने की आदत हो गई है। कोई सफ़ा पलटता हूँ तो एक सिसकी निकलती है, कोई सफ़ा पलटता हूँ तो एक सिसकी निकलती है। कई लफ्ज़ों पर मानी ही गिर पड़े हैं, बिना पत्तों के सुन देखते हैं, टून देखते हैं सब अल्फाज जिन पर अब कोई माती नहीं होते। ज़बां पर जायका अब जो सफ़ा परखने का, ज़बां पर जायका अब जो सफ़ा परखने का, अब उंगली क्लिक करने में सबसे एक झपकी गुजरती है। बहुत कुछ तय होता है, कुदा जरा जाता है पर्दे पर। बहुत कुछ तय होता है, कुदा जरा जाता है पर्दे पर, किताबों से जो ज़ाती रास्ता तक कट गया है। किताबों से जो ज़ाती रास्ता कट गया है, कहीं सीने पे ले जाते थे, कहीं गोदी में लेते थे, कहीं अपने घुटनों की रेल की सूरत बनाकर नीम सजने पर आ करते थे, छूते जब ये सही। वो सारा इल्म तो मिलता रहेगा आइंदा भी, मगर वो जो किताबों में मिला करते थे सूखे फूल और महके महके उके, वो सारा इल्म तो मिलता रहेगा आइंदा भी, मगर वो जो किताबों में मिला करते थे सूखे फूल और महके महके उके, कहीं गिनाने उठाने बनते हुए रिश्ते बनाते थे, वो शायद उनका क्या होगा, वो शायद और अब नहीं होंगे। थैंक यू।
Amazing, Varun. You are a truly multifaceted artist. And what a beautiful poem. We now move to the musical talent of Chirag Rahul Dave, a 16-year-old student at Al Noor Training Center for Persons with Disabilities. He is a pleasant and well-mannered boy. He likes attending co-curricular activities such as music, sports, gym, and swimming. Chirag enjoys singing a lot and plays the keyboard a lot. Chirag is going to enthrall us with his musical performance.
Hello, I am Chirag Dave. I am from Al Noor School. My second piece is Stick and Hat.
Thank you, Chirag. We were simply tapping along to your music. We now welcome our final superstar of the segment, Bashar Al-Bazmi. He's a student on the Autism Spectrum Disorder from Manzil Center, Sharjah. Bashar enjoys playing video games, reading comics, and public speaking. He has been an MC at many of Manzil's events, and he's very excited to be participating in the Poetic Heart.
Hello, my name is Bashar, and this is my poem. There's a tree in my garden that stands strong and tall. No matter what happens, my tree doesn't fall. When it is windy, blowing gales and squalls, the tree bows and bends, but I know it won't fall. When rain falls upon it, so hard it might drown. My tree welcomes water and holds by its boughs when the sun shines hard and plants all the turn brown. My tree leafy roots ensure water is found, and when it's snowing and frost tries to bite, my tree sheds some leaves, and soon
new ones shine bright. I water my tree daily. There's much to admire, such strength and resilience to which I aspire.
Thank you, Bashar. We loved your poem. We now venture into the world of music. Music is life itself. So let's fill our moments with a scintillating performance from Mandira Ranthini Koshang Gumbra.
Mandira is a student at the Sheffield Private School, Dubai. While topping the Grade 8 Trinity College London examination in vocals, she has also completed the Lambda Verse and Prose Gold Medal examination with distinction and London College of Music Piano Forte exams up to Grade 7.
Mandira has achieved many accomplishments in her music career. These include a grand winner of the Dubai Singing Sensation in 2017. She was also the finalist at the Best of the Best competition organized by GEMS Education UAE and at the WAFI Superstars in 2017. She was among the top 10 at the Little Star Show, a nationwide singing competition in Sri Lanka in 2009. Mandira would be captivating us with her original song, That's When You Will Start.
To
from music to the power of poetry again. This has been a challenging year for the world as we still grapple with the effects of COVID. While we organized the recordings for the digital events, some of our participants were only able to attend the event through remote sessions. This reflects their true spirit of resilience as they reach out to you through their poetry. Let's hear it from all these participants as they reach out to you remotely.
Let's first welcome Mr. Ali Al-Shali, a poet who holds a BSc in Civil Engineering from the UAE University and a Master's Certificate in Project Management from George University. He has practiced engineering in multinational companies before working as the Senior Director of Publishing and Translation at the Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum Foundation from 2008 to 2014. He is an active member of the Emirates Writers Union.
Mr. Ali Al-Shali has published 3 anthologies of poetry: A Bee and a Rababa, Faces and Weary Others, and The Earth Has One Soul. He recently published his 4th poetry anthology and a novel that was selected for the long list of Sheikh Zayed Awards. He is the Vice Chairman of Emirates Publishers Association, a board member of the Cultural and Scientific Association in Dubai, and also a board member of the 1971, a cultural initiative of the Crown Prince of Dubai. Over to Mr. Ali Al-Shali.
نظارة. لم أحلم البارحة سوى بالبحر أخضر هكذا أراه يانعا خشنا متوعدا بتخمة. لست أعمى إنما يخزني السير إثر إطار مشجر في أرض عذراء. أنفاسي تليق بخطوي نبضي بالمعركة وأرى الأشياء كما أريد. السماء خضراء أيضا غامقة كأغاني الصبيان. وعندما أظمأ لضفة أرسم طريقي عبر الغابة بساطور أتبع الهدير ورائحة الخوف. خبز أمي زرقة الأبد تمر النوارس بطيئة كأن الهواء خسر ملاسته منذ زمن. تدفئني البواخر توقظني بغناء على طريقة الكبار. زفير بلا أحرف. لن أهجر هذا البيت، لن أهجره ذا الجدران العارية فلصدوعه لذة أعرفها. لن أغادره لأن قزما يلجم عينيه بمرآتين ويمشي نحوي بخنجر. لأن جاري يسبر القمامة ويعد التمرات التي تناولها أبنائي على الفطور. في المساءات اليتيمة أحدث بنات آوى عن الثأر. تنصت كغريب متلهف. كلانا حفظ الدرس. بالبخور تنحسر العتمة وبالنظارة المنتقاة تمر العاصفة. سرطان المعنى يعبئ الهواء. أقطف حفنة ضوء أدهن بها قلقي ثم أنزلق إلى زقاق لا يفضي. السماء نهر مقلوب حيوات لا تنضب. 6 أسباع الكون صمت غناء لا يشبهنا والباقي ثرثرة. جاكوتي. أعرف هذا المعدن، أعرفه. رجل شجرة على كتفه تحط العصافير. تنصت إلى أنفاسه تغزل صمته تغاريد للصحو ومعاطف للشتاء. أصابه دوار باريس اليثمل الحيرة بضجيجها ويتثنى الشاعر. علم أن رئتيه الخضراوين لا تتسعان لهوائها المكربن ولا أذناه لحسيسها. تسلق الجنوب بعيدا ذهبت روحه مرتين وجسده البارحة. قطرة نبيذ في وريد عاشق. سمكة تنزلق إلى الزرقة تختفي لتحيا، تماهى مع العشب والماء السريع. أعرف هذا المعدن، أعرفه، قلم له يد، خفيفا وخافتا مر وبلا تشتيت للنظر، زرع شمعة في ظلال غرينيان وأخرى في السماء. همس النسيم الانمحاء سبيل الترقي، الذوبان الألق.
Thank you so much, Mr. Ali Al-Shali, for your gracious participation at the Poetic Heart. We now welcome our first student of this segment, Mannat Datta, a Year 11 student from Dubai Scholars Private School. An avid reader, she finds herself mystified by the eloquence with which poets realize complex concepts. This Poetic Heart event has encouraged her to take her poems a step forward and share them with the world, inspiring her to inscribe with poise, creativity, and with the need to help others understand her thoughts.
The bleeding sun shed no tears for the wizened man whom despair feared. Perched over his shoulder, her naivety but a guise, she poisoned his mind with saccharine lies. "Submit," she crooned, voice tinged in honey. Twisting his withered limbs, she forced her fealty. But undeterred, he trudged forth, paying no heed as she barred him once more. "Yield," she sneered, fingers clenched his chest, blinded his eyes and robbed him of breath. With only a soothing smile, he evaded her strikes and resumed his trek under the cold black sky. "Surrender," she howled, desperation fueling her might, as she grasped his beating heart, claws an unforgiving vice. Yet he embraced her, pitying her plight, dried her hopeless tears as she wept through the night, and intertwined they watched the sun rise. Accepting her fate, she bestowed a demure smile. Melting into his side, a part of him she becomes. For one cannot be resilient without welcoming the despair that comes.
Thank you, Mannat. The bleeding sun sheds no tears. An inspiring poem that would have reached out to our audience from around the world. Next, let's welcome Mariam Imran from the Central School, Dubai. She would be sharing her poem, Reincarnation of Resilience.
Reincarnation of resilience. Like a boxer who just got hit. Like forests who faced a wildfire in the summer. Like axolots who just got injured. Pain, misfortune and suffering flowing along beige mists. I shan't be able to recover with the distressed mindset of one. One as in a dime a dozen. Thoughts as such lingering through their minds. Hopping, zestful, pity prey to be found. But how shall I adapt with the mindsets of a few who rise the highest they can, a few whose mindsets we should echo. Because the boxer will absorb the punch and continue the jostle. The forest will reblossom, all well, all new. The tiny axolots will regrow and regenerate. These anecdotes are the reincarnation of resilience. Thank you.
Thank you, Mariam. Moving on, we now welcome Faith Anika C. Tuasan, a persevering student of Grade 9 of Far Eastern Private School, Al-Shaba. She is full of hope and resilience, which inspired her to create her piece, Keep Going.
Keep going. Rise when you fall, get up and stand tall.
Recover from trials despite its depth and height. Keep going when you tremble and shine bright. Having confidence and trust, keeping competence till the last, being able to manage and cope, to have and sustain hope. The sun arises early in the morning, sets in the night as it starts glooming, dies in the dark sky like it won't come back, returns the next day and starts a new track. The lotus flower, rooted in muck and impurity, yet rises to bloom in virtue and beauty. Keeps going despite adversity, keeps moving, embraces prosperity. Difficulties and hardships that come along will open your eyes and make you strong. Be proud and still, despite the painful call, God created us to overcome it all.
Simple, but one that we all falter at. Rise when you fall, get up and stand tall. Thank you, Faith. Your name is synonymous to the essence of your poem. Next, we would be joined by a student from grade 12 at American International School, Dubai, Leen Ayman, who has specially penned down a poem for Poetic Heart, conveying a strong message through her poem, I am resilience and resilience is me.
Audacious demands, audacious blames. He have the audacity to ignite mind flames. But oh, how dare he burden me so? How dare I let him push me so low? From now on, if he would have told me, thine world is only fit to be in the abyss, I'll simply smile, and he shall see, mine world was not made to appease. For I shall fall, and I shall not flee, for that is what defines resilience. I am resilience, and resilience is me. Thank you.
Thank you, Leen. That was wonderful.
This brings us to the end of this segment. A big thank you to all our student poets for such an awesome display of resilient emotions through their poetry in these challenging times. Khalil Gibran once said, "Music is the language of the spirit. It opens the secret of life, bringing peace, abolishing strife." Let's welcome our stars for their next performance.
Mr. Dev Chakrabarti is an accomplished vocalist, composer, music coach and talent groomer from Dubai. Originally from Kolkata, Mr. Dev has had extensive training in Indian classical music from an early age under many notable musical gurus across India. He emerged as a young, promising artist on various stage and television performances across India and performed as a co-singer alongside many Bollywood singers and musicians. His wide range of live performances and recording sessions in semi-classical, ghazal, Sufi, folk and devotional genres of music are highly acclaimed by audiences throughout India and UAE.
Accompanying him is a talented young singer, Sucheta Satish, a student at the Indian High School. Sucheta has the unique ability to sing in 120 languages, including 25 Indian and 77 foreign languages. She has sung over 6 hours and 15 minutes in a concert titled Music Beyond Boundaries. The record was adjudicated by the World Record Academy based in Miami, USA. She is an excellent dancer, a Spell Bee champion, and the proud recipient of Sheikh Hamdan Award for Academic Excellence.
Mr. Dev and Sucheta have both collaborated with the very eminent and celebrated Emirati poet of UAE, Dr. Shihab Ghanem, who has adapted into Arabic a poem originally written in Bengali by Dr. Rabindranath Tagore. The music for the song has been composed and directed by Mr. Dev. Let's mesmerize ourselves with this melodious experience.
নাই নাই ভয় হবে হবে জয় খুলে যাবে এই দ্বার খুলে যাবে এই দ্বার
لا تبالي أن نصروات سيفتح باب سيفتح باب لا
ওরে নাই নাই ভয়। ক্ষণে ক্ষণে তুই হারায়ে আপনা সুপ্তি নিশীথ করিস যাপনা।
مرارا مرارا ستظلم نفسك في عمق وعيك تصنع فلما
বারে বারে তোরে ফিরে পেতে হবে বিশ্বের অধিকার।
لا لا تبالي
স্থলে জলে তোর আছে আহ্বান আহ্বান লোকালয়ে। চিরদিন তুই গাহিবি কি গান সুখে দুঃখে লাজে ভয়ে।
سماؤك أهلا وأرضك سهلا تقولان والكون وسوف تغني طويلا ودوما بسعد وحسن بفخر وخوف
ফুল পল্লব নদী নির্ঝর সুরে সুরে তোর মিলাইবে স্বর।
خفيف الشجر وعطر الزهور ولحن الخرير بماء النهر ستعزف لحنك والنور والظل سارع وفناك।
নাই নাই ভয় হবে হবে জয় খুলে যাবে দ্বার খুলে যাবে দ্বার।
لا لا تبالي النصر وات سيفتح باب سيفتح باب
নাই নাই ভয়
لا لا تبالي
ওরে নাই নাই ভয়।
Now once again, let's turn our attention to the voice of the youth. Before we begin, we would like to welcome our viewers who have joined us online at this digital event, being broadcast across our social media channels and our website. Please keep encouraging our young poets.
Amity University Dubai campus is committed to nurture talent through world-class education and conduct research in line with the UAE's vision for the future. Based in Dubai International Academic City, Amity University Dubai campus is spread over a 700,000 square foot area with world-class facilities. Amity universities are also spread across North America, UK, Europe and Asia.
The Dubai campus is licensed by Knowledge and Human Development Authority, Government of Dubai, and offers 45 undergraduate, postgraduate, PhD and blended learning programs in line with the government's national agenda. From innovative programs such as nanotechnology, aerospace engineering and forensic science to traditional courses like law, fashion, design, journalism and mass communication, mechanical engineering and applied psychology, Amity University has it all. this next segment, we have with us Biji Sara Binu, an engineering student from the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Dubai. Sara believes that her ability to pen down poems allows her to discover the real person within and spread love and happiness to others. Performing for the second time at the Poetic Heart platform, presenting to you Sara with her poem To My Most Powerful Soul.
I'm Biji Sara and my poem is titled To My Most Powerful Soul. Many may come and tear you apart, slither your dreams like you were never worthy to have. Time may pass and lag you behind, encaptured in your screen like that's all what you can. Fate shall mock you all the way down, seeing no gleam like it's time to give up. Oh, it's easy to stop, turn back and run, but a real hero is born when steps are taken ahead. Whatever that hold you back, slay those shackles and do what you desire. No matter what a perfect man was, you don't have to follow uninscribed laws on ideal characters. For history makers never came from an obedient child, and you are more than what you know. For with a mended heart and an aching soul, you showed a great resilience to griefs and pains untold. Thank you.
Sara, your poem effectively conveyed the message you had for us all, that it is important to believe in ourselves and move ahead. Moving on, let's welcome Chelsea Alcantara, a student from pristine private school Dubai. Being an avid reader, she's especially fond of modern literature. She was inspired to write this poem to celebrate the strife and struggles people go through in their lives, and yet they achieve their dreams despite all odds. Let's listen to her poem, You Are Indomitable.
My name is Chelsea, and I'll be reciting my poem, You Are Indomitable. Look at yourself, love. Look at yourself and admire what you've become. Do you not see the endless fire flickering relentlessly in the windows of what once you thought were empty? Do you not see the very depth of that lingering soul, fighting, marching, standing, all behind that barricaded window of yours? Take a good and longing look. Welcome the art you've sought to be, the tainted and the refined. Look at yourself, so beautiful and so strong, so magnificent. Like Atlas, you've been tasked to bear the weight of the world, and yet here you are, the outcome of what even Zeus couldn't conquer. Look at you. You've been dragged to hell and back, picked apart like a poet's disguised words, laid out on display, taking the brunt of it all, time and time again. But you must know that truly there is nothing more alluring than a display of courage. You and me and you, are we not the same? Do we not live each day fighting for the next and surviving from the last? Simply like words cascading down a page, almost like a poem, the truth presents itself right before us. Because really, the naked truth of it all is, resilience is indomitable, and so are you.
Do we not live each day fighting for the next and surviving from the last? Evokes the spirit of resilience. Thank you, Chelsea. Next, we have Ishanvi Kumar, a grade 9 student from the Millennial School Dubai. She has penned down a passionate cry of a very special mother, as only a mother knows the difficulties she goes through to raise her children.
My name is Ishanvi Sudesh Kumar, and I'll be reciting my poem, Resilience. I don't recognize myself, as though I've become unknown. I suppose I am their home, but not one composed of bricks and mortar, rather the very soil that's held it all, from the footsteps of the largest creatures to the humans who continue to bruise and scar my beguiling, delicate-like features. I'm unlike any other, for one has the greatest responsibility when one is a mother. I'm aware of every dream I helped make come true. Yet it was your inhumane actions that felt like I was beshrewed. I was loved until your hands ruined me and left me feeling used. But I'm far more than just another celestial body, capable of greater things that lie beyond the horizon of what you can see. Because I have been through storms, crashes, twists and turns. I have had my hands cut down as though the branches that continue to feed you didn't matter. I have a scorching, recalcitrant core that so passionately engulfs me and it burns. I dare to have let you do it all, break, crumble, disintegrate and shatter. But I shall stand through it all, 'cause the winds of adversity can't sweep me off my feet. Have the tales of the greatest warriors failed to mention their greatest fall? 'Cause I'll still be who I am, even when you make me bleed. And at times, I may blow up unexpectedly, with whirlpools, storms, and hurricanes. And I may have taken a few hits, but I'll always be the one who retells all the stories. Just take a look at my tolerant appearance. And I'm not afraid to call myself brilliant, 'cause my journey hasn't been easy, but I've made it by being resilient. And you know why they call me mother? Well, it's because I've taken care of every being to have been birthed. But you know me as the only planet with life, with a heart, Mother Earth. Thank you.
Thank you, Ishanvi. That beautifully expressed the compassionate spirit of a mother. Let's welcome Saeeda Maheen, an 11th grader from Woodland Park School, Dubai, who feels that negative thoughts are bound to come in when we don't succeed. In her composition, we will hear Saeeda tell us how to overcome this negativity. Over to you, Saeeda.
Hello everybody, my name is Saeeda Maheen Fatima from grade 6C from Woodland Park School. Today I'm here to recite the poem Overcoming Negativity. Life is not always on the bright side. It's just like a roller coaster ride. Sometimes it makes you feel over the moon, and sometimes under the rock. It gives you suffer and pain, but you should learn to never complain, as it will make our heart weak. Therefore, you'll never be able to reach the peak. You must learn to conquer the negativity and channel it into alacrity. It's the only way to overcome this agony. Like the sun rises with hope, dies in the bloody red sky, to return every morning with a new light. You must look for what will come ahead, and not in the past instead. Life will always drown us in the sea of grief, but we must learn to swim and reach the coast. Thank you.
But we must learn to swim and reach the coast. So true. A skill that can help us overcome all negativities. Thank you, Saeeda. Now let's swiftly move over to our next poet, Afra Nasir, a student from New Indian Model School, Dubai. Studying in grade 8, Afra calls her poem We Are Resilient, the ethos of which resonates within all of us today, standing up against a raging pandemic. Let's hear from Afra now.
Hello everyone, I'm Afra Nasir from New Indian Model School, Dubai. Today I'm here to recite my poem, We Are Resilient. We have been hit with the worst, yet we didn't burst. We were coerced to linger, it was a trigger. Yet we remained grounded like the roots of a tree, anchored. The contagion hindered thwart the world, yet we never hurled. Our hearts as strong as the walls of a house. A cure unheard, submerged and blurred, death and distress affirmed, the cries of loss and fear shattering our ears. Yet we didn't surrender. We became challengers. They may be hunters, but now they have contenders. They may be butchers, but we refuse to be the fare. They may be killers, but we are soldiers. We became pioneers, we became frontiers. We smiled through the horrors. We found light in the darkest corners. We may falter, but we believe in a forever. For we are resilient. For we are resilient. Thank you.
Thank you, Afra. Your poem reflects the undefeated spirit of resilience in today's time. Over to our next student poet, Gauri Nanda Salu, a grade 9 student from the Indian International School DSO. She's an ardent lover of the English language and literature. Gauri has participated in various spelling bee competitions and won the title at the GCC level. Over to Gauri with her poem, Resilience.
Hello everyone. My name is Gauri Nanda Salu and I study at the Indian International School, Dubai. It is with great pride that I recite one of my own poems called Resilience. Here it goes. She was in the midst of a battle. The arrows of insults were whizzing past her, the swords of shame barely missing her, the sirens of her conscience blaring faster. The words of people who once praised her pierced through the wind as insults now. Her optimistic outlook, twisted by men once brothers, came back stabbing as accusations somehow. Any human might have felt the adrenaline rush, but she neither froze nor fled the scene. She was armed with the greatest of weapons. She thought, they may have power, but I've got me. So she buckled up with her own ammunition, the ones of justice and integrity, and she shot down the traitors of cold blood, while her shield of perseverance shone proudly. The war was ended and won by her, victorious without help. Despite having the whole world turned against her, she realized she still had herself. Thank you.
She realized she still had herself, the strong resilience of an individual in tough times. That was inspiring, Gauri. Our youth don't just write poetry, but also associate with key issues in society. Now, let's bring together another young poet, Iman Ahmed Kashif, a student from the Oxford School, Dubai. Studying in grade 10, has always been keen on language skills. A passionate style in writing, Iman calls her poems metanoia, which means a transformative change of heart. Over to you, Iman.
My name is Iman Ahmed. My poem's title is Metanoia. Darkness took over my vision. My ears went shut. My eyes got devoured by darkness. A similar occurrence, I suppose? This malaise, this bouldering ache across my skull. My breathing irregulated against my heartbeat. How must I escape this? My knees landed on wet land. Hands dug onto drenched grasses. Head hung low. How must I escape this? I can't. No one can. This is how it is. This is how it'll be. My head ached along the brisk wind. My ears had thick foam upon them. My eyes got devoured by darkness. The days surrounded me. This won't stop. There's no way I can escape this. My mind had dissolved within this disparity. If only there was a way. It's raining again. Pitter-patter on the wet soil. Have I lived to see this day after all? The days surrounded me. I looked down to see my drenched shoes. Nothing but me standing in a tidy puddle. My eyelids softened at this feeling. Was this what I've wanted all along? My lips curled into a subconscious smirk. I stood there, admiring the ambience. My warm hands embraced the cold weather. The cold air nipped my nose. I took a deep breath. I can definitely breathe well under this air. I am here to live on. I am here to stand tall. Another deep breath. Everything will be better. A deep breath is all it takes. I will live once again. Thank you.
A deep breath is all it takes. I will live once again. So profound, yet simple. Thank you, Iman, for this amazing poem. Let's now welcome Zuriel Hezekiah Martinez, a student from the Philippine School, Dubai. He brings to us his beautiful poem titled A Caterpillar's Destiny. Let's hear Zuriel.
Hello, I'm Zuriel Martinez, and I will be reciting my poem called A Caterpillar's Destiny. Oh, my dear little caterpillar, don't you cry, you'll soon grow into a beautiful butterfly. As the universe reveals my destiny, little legs jumping jolly, knowing the tears in my eyes will one day fossilize. Residing in an unjust world, scary experiences that make me curl. Yet I refuse to lie on my deathbed because my beautiful mother once said, oh, my dear little caterpillar, don't you cry, you'll soon grow into a beautiful butterfly. So confident in my capabilities, I'll climb the mountain efficiently. There's nothing to be afraid of, I have to stay tough. And although darkness may creep, think about the reward at the peak. My reward, so sweet, so tender. My motivation to hike as I remember. Oh, my dear little caterpillar, don't you cry, you'll soon grow into a beautiful butterfly. But dreams pause as we awaken. Stories are never continued, ends are taken. People step and step and step, my soft body full of regret. I tried my best, yet the effects seemed to bend. Has evil still found its way in the end? Horizon transformed into pitch black, time invested that could never be taken back. Fatigued, I climb up a tree. I digest myself in darkness, the future I foresee. Blood oozes from my aching body. I give up. I'm just a nobody. Hanging pretty before I lose my time, I think to myself, was it not worth the climb? If I had to die, I'd like to die beautifully. Maybe being a butterfly was just a dream I was too blind to ever see. And as I hang up at night, I hear voices outside, and I'll listen to the memories as they cry. But soon, I hear wings that flap and purify. Is this the voice of a beautiful butterfly? Oh, my dear little caterpillar, don't you cry, you'll soon grow into a beautiful butterfly. And at last, freeing from the cocoon, wings that spread and bloom, my mother's promise pursue, as my destiny is proven oh so true. Rewarded for my resilience, the view of the horizon, an experience. Oh, fellow caterpillars, don't be so quick to die. Be persistent to morph into a beautiful butterfly.
Thank you, Zuriel. Your poem evokes hope in darkness. Our next poet is from Gulf Asian English School, Sharjah. Aisha Hanath says that while she is not busy with her academic pursuits, she enjoys reading and writing. As a vehement reader of books and poetry, from Wordsworth to Rumi, she believes that poetry is a magical way of expressing oneself. Over to her magic now.
Hello everyone, I'm Aisha Hanath from Gulf Asian English School, Sharjah. Today, I'd like to recite my poem, Resilience. Fight, accept, retaliate. It's resisting what's to come and building boundaries within to survive the tribulations that befall. Absorbing, deflecting, maneuvering your way through when walls are falling. It is letting the sunshine burst in to help rise the dormant seedling. It is healing, developing, connecting with the voice of your inner mind, for the reason that comes from within is enough to last a lifetime. We're prone to be hurt beyond repair. That's when the feelings go fragile and numb. But the human heart, they say, can with resilience mend broken hope. It's not the pressure of the fall or the abrasions that they caused, but the capability to get back up and fight the origin with tenacity. For when things are broken apart and you feel shattered to the core,
It is resilience that will mold you back into your desired form. It is surviving the worst and thriving in the moment. It is how the laurel oak bends to the flow of the zephyr, only to bounce back once again when it feels the calm in the air. Perhaps more than an unrealized element, it's a fraction of the universe that does, with mighty purpose and persistence, shows the potential innate in us. Resilience need not be the thunderous roaring of the sea. Sometimes it's simply the remembrance that you can be, amidst the frigid cold, the source that's warm, or the calm before the violent storm. It is how you lose a mighty battle, but unsheath your sword once again, because you believe you can, and you will. It doesn't matter, a little bloodstain. When you feel overwhelmed by the cacophony, it's how you twist the notes as you desire. Turning the chaos into a melody is a human's enshrouded superpower. It is the phantom that circulates in you, when called out, makes you indomitable. What is a human without resilience? No rain, no flower.
It is resilience that will mold you back into your desired form. What an inspiring poem, Aisha. Let's move on to the next poet, Richard Bhatia, from Far Eastern Private School, Halvan Branch. He studies STEM strands in grade 11. Perhaps we can call him a young philanthropist, as he has won awards for being a great giver and for his courageous effort. Let's hear him recite, I Still Rise.
Hello everyone, my name is Richard Bhatia, and the title of my poem is I Still Rise, just like the moon and the sun, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, but still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. You may write me down in history with your bitter and twisted lies. You may trod me down in the very dirt, but still, like air, I'll rise. You may shoot me with your words. You may cut me with your eyes. You may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like dust, I'll rise. Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean, leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tides. I have been scared and battered, my hopes the wind done scattered. Tried, snow has freezed me, sun has baked me, tried to stop me, but I still rise. Leaving behind the nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. I am the dream and hopes of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Richard, for such an inspiring poetry. I rise, I rise, I rise is the affirmation that can help anyone surmount any challenge in life. Well said. Our last poet for this segment is Samiha Naz from Middlesex University, Dubai. She is a third-year student currently studying psychology with counseling skill at Middlesex University, Dubai. She says that the theme of resilience made her reflect on how not just individuals but the whole community has been resilient towards adversities. And the essence of that is what makes us all stronger. Here is Samiha with her poem, Hold On.
My name is Samiha and my poem is titled Hold On. You must have heard this so many times. You can move mountains with your strength. And then you look at yourself in the mirror, you look into your eyes and see that emptiness. A sense of defeat, a tired soul is all there is, and you think to yourself, how much longer? How many more times? You do not recognize this hope, this part of you holding on Because you keep repeating it to yourself like a mantra, a chant, an anthem, a prayer, like words stuck in your head. You keep repeating, hold on, hold on, hold on. Until you can hear it in echoes reverberating back to you, yet you question this hope, this afterthought. Because after all is said and done, you try telling yourself what you know, what you hear around you, all these talks and advices, motivation and positivity around you. But sometimes it does not feel enough. It does not feel enough to tell yourself, to make yourself believe these things when hope is so hard to hold on to. On those days, as you stand there, in the face of adversity, your feet planted firmly on the ground, your eyes focused, your mind with thoughts running through it, telling you to run as well, telling you you cannot get through this, telling you that you aren't enough, not strong enough, not patient enough, just not enough. But when these thoughts engulf you, would you be kind enough to yourself? To look back and see where you are right now, to remind yourself that you've been through everything. Every single thing that you thought you wouldn't get through, that you thought will drown you into these depths, yet you're here. You're still here. Remind yourself that this will get better. It has to. There's no other way. You've seen that proof with your own eyes, the way you have grown, the way you have adapted. Listen to me. The oceans will rise and you will get through, you will surf through the waves. The mountains will stand tall and you will scale their heights. The world will be unkind and you will continue to be kind to yourself. After all, what is resilience if not getting up after being trapped in the ruins? Thank you.
Thank you, Samiha. Your poetry can definitely inspire one to find the strength to move mountains. This brings us to the end of this segment. Last year, we celebrated the 50th National Day of UAE, the country we proudly call our home. Every year, as we celebrate the union of the nation on 2nd December, our heads bow down with respect and gratitude to the leaders of the nation for providing us with a loving and beautiful haven, and we look up with pride at the traditions and the development of the land.
On that note, let's once again welcome our global singing talent, Sucheta Satish. For our viewers, we would like to highlight the record-breaking talent of Sucheta, who has a unique ability to sing in 120 different languages. She will be enthralling us with the song Fi Hub al-Imarat, composed and directed by Dev Chakrabarti, based on a poem written by Dr. Shihab Ghanib for his love of UAE. It's a humble tribute to the great nation of UAE on its Golden Jubilee celebration.
أنت أهل للعلا والسدد وسأحميك بالستر ويدي يا عمارات ترقي واصعدي يا عمارات ترقي واصعدي يا عمارات ترقي واصعدي.
Simply melodious and ever so refreshing. The young talent of today just seem to leave us spellbound. Now we have on board a highly acclaimed upcoming poet, a Year 12 student at GEMS Wellington International School in Dubai. Priyanshi Joshi enjoys creative and non-fiction writing. Her collection of poetry, Can You Hear Me?, explores a range of topics from her personal experiences to key social issues facing the world today. A member of the school's English Council, she has participated in the school's mock UN and also runs KS3 Maths Help Desk. Let's hear two powerful poems penned down by her, Icarus Rising and Navigating a Sea of Emotions.
Hi everyone, my name is Priyanshi Joshi and my poem is based on the Greek myth of Icarus and Daedalus and it's called Icarus Rising. When Icarus slowly began to fall, people blamed it on his hubris. They said his endeavors were fruitless, yet he saw both the heights of the heavens and the depths of the oceans. His life was a small sacrifice, for who wouldn't give up everything in an instant to feel truly alive for the first time? In that one moment, he was more man than ever before, because what is more man than to be on top of the world and still feel as though it is not enough? What is more man than the lust for immortality even when there is nothing left to live for? Maybe he did fly too high, but indeed he flew, felt the divine warmth of the sun, felt the wax melt his skin, felt pleasure and horror both at the same time, an angel trying to break free from his old life. The sun was his only escape. He felt he reached too far high and fell too far down. With saltwater lungs, skin of wax, and a sun-kissed soul, he was not merely a mortal anymore. He was a son of the earth, the skies, the sea. Icarus, the boy who flew too close to the sun. People forget that even before he fell, he was a person. A clever mind and delicate fingers, he was gifted. Yet he couldn't stay legendary. He stayed a myth. But did Daedalus cry with repentance for his son, or did he cry over the incompetence of his own creation? My second poem is called Navigating a Sea of Emotions. If disappointment ever decides to sink his poisonous fangs upon your skin, remember that hope will provide you with the antidote whenever fear tries to glue your feet to the ground and eclipse your wings so that you do not fly. Anger will stitch you a new pair, adorned with the feathers of every person that ever tried to hold you back, and believe me, you will soar. Should you ever fall, silence will be there to catch you. Silence will cradle you in her comforting arms. She'll whisper in your ear, you do not owe anyone an explanation, and silence will assure you that you only have to speak once you are ready to. There may come a time when loneliness chases after you. Do not run. Loneliness will take his two good hands and place them around your neck. He will try so hard to suffocate you, to leave you in the dark. Bring him closer. Embrace him. Loneliness has spent his entire life feeling as though he will never be enough. Now he cannot help but reflect his suffering onto others. Show him that he is loved, that you are loved, and he will be forced to move on. Happiness and sadness are conjoined twins. If happiness is the heart, then sadness is what allows it to beat. Have faith in them both. Greet them with outstretched palms. They'll hold your hand and lead you through this terrifying, wonderful, and often difficult journey we call life.
Thank you, Priyanshi. That was an inspiring and stirring poem. We hope our viewers on our website, Facebook, and YouTube are enjoying this inspiring showcase. Keep engaging with us through your likes and words of appreciation. Let's give it up for all our poets.
And now, after our young upcoming poet, let's return back to the young poetic minds. Let's welcome our students from the schools of Abu Dhabi. First, we welcome Jolene Jahan, a student of grade 12 of Abu Dhabi Indian School, Murur Boys. He enjoys literature, writing, and reading pieces, especially on themes of optimism and resilience. The poem revolves around a person drowning in despair and mocked by the world, and his triumphant comeback. So here goes, Breaking the Drowning Blues.
Breaking the Drowning Blues. An engulfing cloak of marine void, the deep blue ghosts submerging him goad, a cerulean terror seized and paralyzed as the silence chorused a cheering ode. Struggling for breath, he labors in vain, futile flails against an oppressive pain. His tears coalesce with the cobalt blue. He screamed, but only the water knew. And gradually drowning into salty abyss, all toil ceased, surrender feigned bliss. The tranquility of giving up loomed near. Maybe I should just stop and sink in. It's nice down here. But suddenly, a burst of hope surged up his blood. He conjured resilience like an almighty flood. Rupturing the shackles of gravity, he propelled up the water, and heaven above cut blazing gold to the rippling azure. A resilient spirit broke the chains. A resilient mind untied the reins. A resilient soul broke blue to gold. A resilient heart is the greatest gift one can hold. Thank you.
A resilient heart is the greatest gift one can hold. Thank you, Jolene. That poem truly reflected an undefeated spirit. Next, let's welcome Simran Om Raj, a student of grade 11 from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Murur Girls. She likes to sing, dance, and at times draw as well. She feels poetry is something that enhances her thinking ability and helps her express her thoughts. Let's listen into Simran's poem, Don't Give Up.
Don't give up. When life is like a roller coaster, as sometimes it will. When the path to walk is all unsloping. When worry is letting you down, you'll want to cry but have to smile. Rest as you must, but don't give up. Like wind, it sways. First a little, then a lot. Instantly, it turns wild, then stormy. It makes the branches move, then crackle, and finally break, falling to the ground. Rest as you must, but don't give up. Be proud of your life, proud of your persistence. Believe as there is strength within you. There is resilience. Rest as you must, but don't give up. Thank you.
Thank you, Simran. Your poem truly highlights the essence of not giving up. Our next student, Nashwa Nabil, is from Diafa International School, Abu Dhabi. Nashwa is a 13-year-old from Indonesia who loves drawing, sketching, and painting. She loves metaphorical poems as they put images in her visualization. Let's welcome Nashwa.
Get back up again. This journey has been challenging. There's no denying it. All the obstacles keep coming, each with a different fit. The first obstacle I came across seemed like nothing to me, but the next one I met upon just started one long stream. Let's say the stream is a river and the obstacles would be rocks. The farther I go, the more balance I'd lose because I'd start to feel like a block. The first rock I stepped on was unnaturally straight and dry, but the next rock I placed my feet on was so uneven I didn't bother to try. It was like that for all the rocks, each one more jagged than the last. I kept slipping and falling and tripping that I thought that I might crack. There's always been this voice in my head, a voice that kept cheering me on. You can't give up yet, there's still miles to go before you'll actually fall. The voice would say other things too, like look at your roster, all the things you must do. If you give up, remember the people counting on you. Get back up again. Remember those wise words. Mom used to shout them at you after you fell chasing the birds. And remember that Dad used to say really strange things, like the sky is your limit, so stretch out your wings. And then you'd smile and give them a thumbs up, but inside you were like, is this coding in a cup? Oh, that beautiful voice. It really got me sometimes with all the motivation and sing-song rhymes. But sometimes I wonder, is what it's saying true? Could there really be a chance for me to color my skies blue? If I fall, shouldn't I cry? Shouldn't I weep and pout and sigh? Getting back up again could be really hard work. So shouldn't I just stay down there and let my problems go berserk? Why is the sky my limit when I could go into space? Why should I stretch out my wings when I could stretch out my pace? Hold on a second, was that a spark right there? Did I just elaborate on the fact that I can really start a flare? Is it really that simple to get back up after I fall? Because I never knew I could be strong like them all. I'm being honest right here, and this actually feels great. Getting back up again got me from rock 7 to rock 8. Next time I get up, I'll be jumping to rock 9, and maybe if I keep this up, I'll be on rock 10 in no time. So just a mental note to awesome future me. After you fall, just remember to get back up on the count of 3. Thank you.
Why is Sky My Limit? Reflects a truly aspirational mind. Thank you, Nashwa. Let's move to our next poet, Yara Afreen Sejal, from the Abu Dhabi Indian school, Al-Wadba, who believes that just like poetry has no limits and can find beauty in the simplest of things. She brings to us today a poem beautifully crafted in Arabic.
Hey everybody, my name is Yara Afrin from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Branch 1 Al-Wadba, here to present my Arabic poem, الذكريات. وقفت في غرفة مليئة بالمرايا المقصورة ومشاهدتهم وهم يلعبون الذكريات. كان بعضها جميلا جدا وسحر وأثريا جدا. كان بعضها أماقي أسراري وعادف لحاظتي ومواقفي. بينما وقفت هناك أتذكر ماضي. سمعت صوتا روحيا يحمس. عزيزتي لقد وصلت إلى حياتي. الحدود التي ودعها الوقت. ليس لديك خيار سوى مختارة هذا العالم. لم أتفجع. كنت مستدا لليوم الذي سأترك فيه هذا عالما. كنت أجوزا وسيدا ولدي أيلة محبة وهذا كل ما يهم. قالت سأقدم لك معروفا يمكنك اختيار الطريقة الذي تريد أن تتذكرها بعد عطف التقاط الذكريات ولحظتي التي أردت أن يتذكرني بها الآخرون. أسعد أيام حياتي عندما كنت أسعد. أردت أن أنسى الجميع ماذا الرهيب منذ أشعرت بالخجل من إخبار الخنين بماذا المثري للشفاقة. عندما انتهيت من اختيار أي جزء مني أريده للعالم اتجهت على مدد نحو ذلك الصوت المهيب فقلت ما الذي يمنعني. كان لدي كل شيء يمكن أن يريده الرجل ولكن لماذا كنت مترددا جدا. وأدركت أنه ليس ما أخجل منه. يجب أن أكون فخورا بالنضوب وعماركي لأنهم قوتي وليس ضعفي لأنهم يمثلون إصراري وليس كفاحي. مهدت كفاحي وعماركي وضعفي التاريخ لسعادة. مشيت على أصابع قدمي نحو المرايا المحاتمة القطاع التي نسيت. ليس لدي ما أخجل منه. أنا فخور بمؤنتي. داء التاريخ يتذكروني لمرونتي وكفاحي وليس فقط من أجل نجاحي. شكرا.
Thank you, Yara. Your poem really took us down memory lane. Let's now welcome Ruth Yared Abebe of Maryland International School, Abu Dhabi, an insatiable reader and a marvelous piano player. Ruth will narrate to us her vision of resilience in the battlefield of life through her poem.
Battlefield of life. What does one do when faced with such troubling times? A sad mellow tune, the old clock chimes. With each passing day, things just seem to get worse. Has an evil spell been cast, a pernicious curse? What then does one do when all seems lost? When rest is sought after, no matter the cost? When the heart is perturbed and worried? When happiness never feels guaranteed? When enduring every day feels useless? When our lives and souls are truceless? But we must remember we have no limitations, for things that hurt us the most are expectations. But we do have a kind friend, you see, something full of peace and harmony. It gives us hope of a better day. It has always helped us find the right way. It is inside each and every one of us. It clears away the doubts and all the fuss. Tomorrow's not promised, you often hear it say, so be sure to do whatever you can today. Resilience is a gift that each one must pursue. Do not forget its blessings, whatever you're going through. It sets you free like a bird that's waited for so long, to find its path, to find where it belongs. So heed my command and take my advice, for sitting and crying will never suffice. So rise up, brave soldier, and take for the battlefield, but do not forget your willpower core shield. Thank you.
Tomorrow is not promised. You often hear it say, so be sure to do whatever you can today. A message so true for the times today. Over to our next student poet, Albin Patrick, who studies in the 8th grade in Abu Dhabi Indian School, Al-Watwa Boys. He has earned many prestigious trophies such as Al-Hamdan Award, International Spelling Bee, and International Maths competitions. Let's hear from him about the boy on the stairs.
The boy on the stairs. He was on his way to the top, and on the stairway he hopped. Wanting to reach the roof, he hopped as he spun on his hoof. On a stair he had sat, his heels he had pat. As he tripped over onto a step, pain trickled as he fell flat, silently whimpering as he wept. What could he have done? Staying there helpless was no fun. He stood up, determined with courage. Though the pain, he did not feel discouraged. Grabbing the railing, he spun up, groaning as his pain built up. He took mild steps as he reached the top. Resilience can happen from a simple hop. Thank you.
Thank you, Albin. That was a short yet inspiring poem. Our next student poet is Anne Elizabeth Matthew from Abu Dhabi Indian School, Al-Watwa Girls, who enjoys reading. She likes debates and conversations with new and interesting people. She's an aspiring artist and uses imagery to express her views, and her poem is interestingly titled Webs.
Webs. The spider wakes before the break of dawn, carefully crafting her silken web. Dewdrops adorn it like pearls on a bride, basking in the glory of a new day. She smiles to herself, proud of her oeuvre, until it rains. Pitter, patter, pitter, patter, pitter, patter. The crops rejoice, the rivers dance. Rain patters on the shingles like a drummer playing his tones. The spider groans. Her work is washed away. Her lovely web lay lifeless on the ground, like a soldier knocking on death's door. She regains her poise. I'll start again, she whispers. And so she weaves once again, carefully crafting her silken web. It glimmers, drinking in the pale sunlight. Alas, The north wind breaks her trance. It teases her like a cruel jokester. Catch me if you can, it whispers in her ear, and leaves with her precious web. She weaves her web again and again and again and again and again. The mistress sweeps her web with a portly broom. The children tear it with their hands. The cattle rush forth in blinding hunger. Her lovely web trampled under their cloven hooves. Yet she sits and patiently weaves from sun up to sundown. The spider wakes before the break of dawn to weave her silken web. Her home is destroyed in the blink of an eye, yet she is resilient, weaving, weaving and weaving until someone wrecks it again. Thank you.
That was a beautifully crafted web of resilience. Thank you, N. Let's now welcome Alia Mumtaz, studying in her final year at Abu Dhabi Indian School Al Wadwa Girls. A cheerful and optimistic young girl, she presents to us a poem in Arabic on the topic she loves exploring the most, nature.
قوتي الشجيرة السعي نحو الشمس المشرقة من الأرض المتصدعة والصحراء القاحلة سعدت إلى غرس متين أخضر محاربة العواصف والأعاصير العاتية متسامحة مع الجفاف والنسيم البارد لقد نشأت على شجرة مهيبة وقوية عميقة الجذور تحدف السماء الزرقاء الساطعة عاليا لم أكن أعرف سوى القليل كبذرة صغيرة تتغذى بالدفء والقطرات الندية إن جوهري يحمل عالما مليئا بالعمل الآن أنا أقف وحيدة عاليا مصممة على مواجهة محن كل يوم بقوة والشجاعة. شكرا.
Thank you, Alia. Nature does teach us a lot about resilience in life. The next student is Zunaira Adib Bhatti, a student of grade 9C in Islamia English School, Abu Dhabi. She's passionate about poetry as she believes that a good poem is a contribution to reality. The world is never the same once a good poem has been added to it. Over to her poem, Resilience.
Resilience. What a Selkut bond life has with one. One tick tickles you so that your eyes tell. Tell about the euphoria that settles around. And one talk torments you so that your eyes tell. Tell about the abyss of adversity around. What a great weapon is the mind of one. One tick, its zest is at its zenith. And one talk, it must have nada but intent to struggle. Struggle, even when hearts quiver. What is it that one should do when nothing is seen but doom? The days you spend in solitude are the days you find your strength to bloom. What is the source of these haunting sorrows? No matter the barrow, one must break the endless darkness and lead their tears towards a new dawn. Remain not a trampled flower, one which laments time and time again. but be one which grows as lucent as the living inferno, one which eats anything and everything in its way. Thank you.
What a Selkut bond life has with one. A beautifully crafted poem about life. Thank you, Zunaira. Let's move next with Jana Mohammad Al-Nezi from Malay School, Abu Dhabi. She loves to paint, create new things, crochet, and play the ukulele and piano. She is known to be very energetic and a very positive person. Let's hear her talk about life.
Resilience. Life will cause great pain, like how it pours in midnight rain. But whether or not you choose to get back up is when you know if you're strong enough. And melancholy will come and go. Your sadness after time will show. But if you work hard and prove them wrong, your work will be worth it all along. And never forget that if you let yourself crumble and fall and let life break your walls, you will learn that your life has come to an end, and nothing you do, and no matter how much you pretend, you cannot fix, nor can you mend. Because at the end, fighting for your life will break the silence. If you let the light be of your guidance, nothing will be wrong, and nothing will be small. Even the slightest mistakes will break your fall. Thank you.
Thank you, Jana. Your poem has a powerful message indeed. Fighting for your life will break your silence. Next, let's welcome Akshata Khanna from the Private International English School, Abu Dhabi. She has come back to the Poetic Heart with a compassionate and eloquent poem. As her teachers would describe her, a bard of the modern era. Today for us, she has etched the whimpering of Mother Earth on the dearth of noble values.
Resilience, the conquering power. When the tides of passion wash the shores of fear, the screaming echoes of terror are all that you can hear. But with that one step forward, you have to begin and cross the stream. Sailing with the raft of resilience, you are bringing life to your dream. Resilience is what keeps you going and never allows you to quit. It is about standing strong no matter how hard you get hit. Embrace your obstacles, cross them with pride and go the extra mile. Resilience is when you fall down but stand back up with a glowing smile. Your resilient power is not just your ability to win. It is your optimism to rise again and gracefully begin. And the higher you rise, the more you will fall with even more pain. But tell yourself to never give up and stand back up time and again. Even the tiny seed has a resilient spirit, though it is sown deep in the ground. It comes out pushing all odds and reaching heights, knowing no bound. Our soldiers on the borders are powerful not just due to their weapons, but due to their courage and will, and with their heroic powers of resilience, even death they can kill. With the swords of power and resilience as your shield, awaken your spirit and walk towards the battlefield. Fight the arrows of obstacles and the bullets of agony will hit you too. When your wounded self stands back up, your fears will kneel in front of you. True strength is about walking hand in hand and fighting the spirit of unity. True power is strengthening the bonds of the most resilient spirit of humanity. Only when the rocks and barriers stop a river, the stream finds new ways to flow. Every stormy night with the thunders of fright has given rise to hope's new rainbow. When you face the dark shadows and flashes of gloom, become the resilient flower which shines with silence but will eventually bloom. The dark nights and challenges will pull you down and show you the scary way. But shine and become resilient to rise like the sun's first ray. Thank you.
Thank you, Akshita. It is a delight to listen to another poem that depicts resilience through nature. Our next student is Farah Riaz from Sunrise English Private School, Abu Dhabi. She finds it intriguing as to how a few words can hide a message as deep as the ocean. Her poem, Resilience, shows the strength of a person to survive hurdles and move forward. Over to Farah.
Resilience. Rattling windows, a leaking roof, thunderstorms and hurricanes. The flood left its stains, faded proof, a house destroyed by fate's games. Cracked ground, withering plants, scorching sun and no clouds in sight. Silver linings? There's not even a chance. A soul hurt, fight after fight. Blistered skin and smoke-filled lungs. Flames climbed higher as time ran by. Bullets rained from the guns. A body of holes left to dry. But you learned to make rainbows out of rain and stayed afloat after drowning. You prevailed even after being betrayed by Cain, and you painted over your stains, ever persevering. You watered your plants with your sweat, and you glowed like the moon in the burning sun. You didn't need silver linings, you take what you get. Sure, your soul was hurt, but onwards you run. You wore your blisters as armor and used the flames to forge your sword. And in the wreckage, you lowered your anchor, your feet on the ground, eyes skyward. Through storm, dirt, fire, and pain you've passed. Never taking the easy way out, you never caved. And through hurdles to come, you will last, because in your heart, resilience is engraved. Thank you.
Thank you, Farah. And through hurdles to come, you will last, because in your heart, resilience is engraved. And now, for the last student poet for the day, we would like to welcome Nadha Minna from the Model School, Abu Dhabi. Studying in grade 11, Nadha is not new to the stage of the Poetic Heart. She had mesmerized us with her poem last year, and this year too, we hope to be inspired. She calls her poem Break Me Never.
Break me never. Every time I fall, I get up and run, far away till there's no end. Heights don't intimidate me no more. Each step is braver than ever, leaving an imprint deeper than other. I am tired of hiding in the ashes. It's time to rise through the fire. A few scars on the way could hurt me no more, for pain and suffering are the symbol of success. Cries of miseries are always overheard. No one cares but I. There's no point in stopping to cry. I'll be left far behind. Moving forward with flame in my eyes will show me a path far beyond my past. Nothing can keep holding me back. Not their words, not their deeds, not the thought of dragging me down. They can try as hard as ever, but I will break no more, never.
Thank you, Nada. A beautiful spirit to finish off the students' poetry sessions. In your words, I can try as hard as ever, but I will break no more, never. With this spirit, we now move to the final segment of the day. Let's welcome Naseem one more time to captivate us with another song. Determined to sing like a breeze and share Dr. Daisaku Ikeda's spirit towards peace and harmony for humankind. Their next song, Haha Yo, which means mother, as an ode to mother, which celebrates this universal bond in different languages. This song will be sung in Japanese, English and Arabic.
Thank you, Naseem. That was exhilarating. As they say, bouncing back from my mind's dark caves, annihilating the power of pain and redefining themselves, all by resilience. And this evening has stood witness yet again to the resilience of the human mind as we stand interconnected in heart and mind. We hope our audiences across all our channels have enjoyed this digital edition of Poetry and Music. Please continue to follow us on our channels and share your views and thoughts.
Each year, the curtain falls, only to begin the show yet again, year after year, connecting minds, connecting humanity. I would now like to request Mr. Nitin Vij to share a vote of thanks and his closing address for our viewers.
Hello everyone. It's with great pleasure and pride that I stand here to close this momentous digital edition of Poetic Heart, Connecting Humanity. I would like to express gratitude and appreciation, first of all, to Amity University for lending us their magnificent venue and for the long-standing association with Emirates NBD. On behalf of SGI-Gulf, I would like to thank all our sponsors and volunteers and patrons over the years for lending us their strong support. And a big thank you to you all, or the viewers across the globe. As someone said, celebrate endings, for they precede new beginnings. Here's a round of big applause as the curtain falls on day one of Poetic Heart, and a sincere gratitude to the volunteers, especially for successfully managing the show with all safety protocols in place. And of course, Shukran, dear poets and performers and dear students, for presenting your poems and artistic piece towards connecting hearts and creating peace, hope and value in the society. At this junction, allow me to express a big thank you and a very special mention to our director and the team who created today's production. See you all tomorrow on a media channel for day 2 of Poetic Heart, where renowned poets and musicians across the globe will present their renditions. We look forward for the same with as much enthusiasm. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nitin Vij. Very aptly stated. Every end is a start of a new beginning. Keeping the spirit and theme for today's event, we go from resilience to greater resilience. Until 2023, here's the Poetic Heart team signing off.
Goodbye and ma salama.